For millions of years, something unimaginable was hiding on top of a mountain, a place untouched, and reached, and seen, a world preserved above the clouds, locked behind walls so steep even birds avoid them. This is Mount Lico, a black granite fortress rising straight out of Mozambique, so smooth and vertical that climbing it is almost suicidal. For generations, locals refused to go near it. They whispered that sky spirits guard its crown, beings that punish anyone who tries to reach the top. Some said the spirits were protectors. Others said they were prisoners. But everyone agreed on one thing. No human had ever stood on that summit. And for thousands of years, the mountain kept its secret. Until one afternoon, a British scientist, Dr. Julian Bayliss, sat alone studying satellite images. Dry savanna, empty plains. There, on the very top of Mount Lico, was something no geologist had ever reported. A perfect circle of deep green, a hidden forest, a world sealed from time. How is this possible? What's living up there? And why has no one ever seen it? Questions hit him one after another, the kind that rewrite textbooks. In that moment, he realized, this wasn't just a mountain. This was a lost world, hiding in plain sight. And the discovery he was staring at, it wasn't supposed to exist. Welcome to USA Secret Files, where the world's deepest mysteries are revealed. Because the story you're about to hear should not have been possible. Dr. Bayliss barely slept after seeing the satellite images of Mount Lico, a world untouched, hidden on top of a vertical stone tower. At sunrise, he gathered his team. This wasn't just a mission anymore. It was an obsession. They officially named it Project Lico Operation Lost World. This mountain doesn't want anyone climbing it. The briefing room felt tense as experts studied the mountain's impossible shape. Climbers warned, it can't be scaled. There's no footing on that wall. One wrong move and you're gone. No helicopter can land up there. The air currents twist like invisible blades. It was as if the mountain itself was guarding a secret it didn't want revealed. Before leaving, local elders shared chilling warnings. Those who climb Lico never return. They spoke of strange lights dancing across the cliffs at night, voices echoing with no wind, and an ancient tribe that vanished after attempting the climb. The room fell silent. Mount Lico wasn't just dangerous, it was feared. When the team reached the base of Mount Lico, they stared up in disbelief. It looked less like a mountain, and more like a fortress built straight into the sky. This is insane, Dr. Bayliss whispered. They began their climb. Hours passed. Hands split open on razor-sharp rock. Ropes whipped violently in the wind. Harnesses shook. And beneath them a 2,300-foot drop into pure darkness. But the most terrifying challenge came at a spot climbers called the hollow face. A smooth, curved section of rock that jutted outward, forcing them to hang in open air with nothing beneath their feet. One slip, and the world would never know what they discovered. By sunset, exhausted and shaking, the team finally pulled themselves over the final ledge. They stood still, stunned, because right there, on a mountaintop untouched by humans for millions of years, something existed that should not have been possible. What they saw next left them frozen in absolute silence. The moment Dr. Bayliss pulled himself onto the summit, his breath stopped. This was not just a mountaintop. It felt like stepping into another Earth, a hidden world the modern world was never meant to see. The air was warm and heavy, light filtered through dense leaves, and surrounding the team was something no scientist had ever documented, a prehistoric rainforest, suspended thousands of feet above the ground. For a moment, no one spoke. They simply stared, because this wasn't a normal forest. This was a sealed ecosystem, untouched for millions of years, preserved like a natural time capsule floating above the African landscape. As the team moved deeper, they realized they were not alone. Here, evolution had written its own story. They found insects with wing patterns never seen before, creatures shaped by total isolation. They spotted small mammals with unusual bone structures, as if they had evolved on an island in the sky. Plants grew in spirals and colors no botany textbook had ever recorded. Orchids with neon blue veins, ferns with glass-like leaves that glittered under sunlight. And then came one of the strangest finds, a freshwater crab living at the very top of the mountain. How does a crab even get up here? One scientist whispered. Every step they took shattered another scientific law. This mountaintop wasn't just a forest. It was a world that had evolved in complete secrecy. Near a cluster of ancient trees, Dr. Bayliss knelt beside a shape in the soil. He brushed away the dirt and froze. The entire team gathered silent. It was a mark. Not from an animal. Not from erosion. A shape that only one species leaves behind. A human footprint fossil. Perfectly preserved. Perfectly undeniable. Dr. Bayliss stepped back. "This can't be," he whispered. "Modern climbers nearly died reaching this summit. So how did ancient humans get here?" There were no ropes. No equipment. No evidence of a route. But there was proof. Humans had once stood on this impossible mountain long before recorded history. The rainforest, the animals, the plants, all extraordinary. But this changed everything. How did early humans reach a summit that even elite climbers struggled to survive? A vertical stone tower, with no safe path, no landing point, no water source. And yet, they were here. No one, not historians, not climbers, not scientists, has ever found the answer. But what they discovered next would make this mystery even darker. The team's jaws dropped as they stepped deeper into the mountaintop. Dr. Bayliss couldn't hide his disbelief. This can't be real," he whispered, voice trembling. Every breath they took felt heavy with awe. The air thick, warm, and humid, carrying the scent of untouched earth. Mount Lico's summit wasn't flat. It was a natural bowl, carved by inns of wind and rain, cradling a rainforest that seemed to defy all logic. Mist swirled around massive tree trunks. Sunlight filtered through the dense canopy, scattering like golden shards. Leaves the size of umbrellas trembled under their own weight. Insects buzzed with alien patterns, echoing across the crater like a living orchestra. Water dripped from unseen heights, each drop striking the forest floor with a soft, rhythmic pulse. It was a living biological museum, a sanctuary where evolution had played out in isolation for millions of years. And the more they explored, the more impossible it seemed. No large animals could have naturally colonized this place. No human foot had altered its soil. The microclimate maintained perfect balance. Humidity, temperature, and rainfall all untouched by the outside world. Every fragile organism, every tiny creature, every droplet of water was a miracle. One wrong step, one careless action, and this entire ecosystem could be destroyed in an instant. Dr. Bayliss looked around, awestruck. Even to stand here, it feels like we're intruding on a world that should never exist. Scientists realized something profound. This ecosystem could never be recreated. Its isolation, its natural climate, its species, all depended on millions of years of uninterrupted evolution. It was delicate, precious, and entirely unique. A glimpse of what Earth might have looked like before humans reshaped the planet. But the team hadn't seen everything yet. At the very heart of the mountaintop, beyond the trees, beyond the ferns, beyond the pools of crystal water, something even more shocking awaited. A discovery that would challenge everything scientists thought they knew about life on Earth. This was no ordinary rainforest. This was a real lost world, preserved against all odds for over 1 million years. And what lay ahead would make the word impossible seem trivial. The world didn't believe it at first. News outlets buzzed. Headlines screamed. Scientists discover a lost world on Mount Lico. Dr. Bayliss' photos spread like wildfire. He stared at them in disbelief, his hands shaking. "I've never seen anything like this in my life," he whispered, almost unable to speak. Global impact as science comes alive. The discovery rippled across the globe. Evolutionary biology. Scientists examined small mammals that had evolved in isolation. Their unique adaptations were writing textbooks. Climate science, meteorologists studied Mount Lico's microclimate, stable humidity, perfect rainfall patterns, a natural laboratory for climate modeling. Anthropology, ancient human footprints, perfectly preserved in soil, were analyzed under microscopes, raising questions about early human capabilities and migrations. Botany, rare orchids and plants, previously unknown to science, sparked a race to understand their genetics and survival mechanisms. Every field told a story of resilience, adaptation, and the staggering power of untouched nature. Lessons from Mount Lico. Standing atop the mountain, Dr. Bayliss reflected, even in our modern, napped world, there are still secrets waiting to be discovered, places untouched, life evolving in silence, ecosystems surviving against all odds. It reminded humanity of something fundamental. No matter how much we think we know, Earth still holds mysteries that can humble us. suspenseful teaser of something even more astonishing awaits. But Mount Lico was only the beginning. Deep within its heart, hidden beyond the trees, beyond the pools, scientists glimpsed hints of something far more extraordinary, a discovery that could challenge everything we think we know about life on Earth. For now, the world only knows the top of the mountain. The secrets waiting below remain untouchable. The adventure is far from over, and somewhere, hidden in the folds of our planet, another lost world may be waiting, ready to shock humanity all over again.